Something had evidently gotten changed, and I don't know why, from my mic. You should be able to hear me now. How about now, Jamie? I know there's a few seconds delay. It should be working perfectly fine now. Yay! Elaine can hear me now. All right. It shows everything is working. I hope you can hear me. Yay! That was my fault. I should have checked that. I hooked up a new piece of equipment and I forgot that it turns off the sound to default, and I'm not using the default sound. Yay! So guys, I promise I won't be keeping you long today because I know it's Saturday. It's your crafting day and your shopping day and all that kind of stuff. Hi, Sheila! Miss Sheila is in the house. But this is a really, really quick project, guys. And I wanted something. I know that we have crepe paper flowers, and I know that we have the ones we use, the pearl papers and the lightweight cardstocks. But I wanted something that I could put on top of a gift that could hold up, you know, to being shuffled around, like either at a wedding shower or a baby shower, anything of that nature. But I wanted to tie it into Valentine's Day too. And I had purchased this paper on sale at Joann's this week, thinking it was paper. I thought it was paper, and it was pretty heavy, so I should have known, but they didn't have any open packs. So I grabbed a bunch of packs of it. So I got it home and I opened it up, and it was thick, heavy cardstock. And I'm like, what am I going to do with all this? Because I bought 5 packs of it because it was so pretty. But I was like, what am I going to do with it? And then I had forgotten about the flowers made from hearts. And that's exactly what they are. They are hearts. If you've opened up the file, that's all there is. There's 2 different shaped hearts in there, and then there is a base piece. Now, one of the things that you can do is you can cut a few of these and do this, but I wanted more depth in it than that and be able to control where the petals landed. So you can do this 2 different ways, and I promise you it cuts 10 of the hearts and 1 of the bases, and it took me 5 minutes total time from cut to curl to put these together and be done. So, I mean, it's great for a bow, or either you can make a bouquet. You can use these in shadow boxes. You can size them up and down. Just make sure you group and that you size everything together. And the file is on the design tab for all you patrons. So, it's there for you. And I just attached a piece of ribbon to mine for leaves, but if you want to add a leaf in there and curl that in cardstock, you can do that too. But this is the Park Lane. I don't know if it has roses, in case you guys want that, from Joann's. It may still be on sale. It was 5 for $10. So, I mean, I got 250 sheets because I'll use this forever in all Valentine's and wedding showers and stuff like that. And there's a blue one in there similar to this too. So super simple. And guys, don't forget, if you have any questions about Design Space or project issues, make sure that you just let us know. And I just have this piece of scrap foil that's scored in the wrong place, just to show you guys how that would look on a gift. And for my glue gun, because it's cordless and I tend to lay it down. So, I'm going to plug it up to keep it hot until I'm ready though. All you're going to do is take your base, and I used a wooden skewer. You can use your scissors. You can use the back side of one of your Cricut tools, and you're just going to curl the edges on these. You can use whatever you have handy to curl with. I mean, my preference, just for me, is the skewer. but I'm going to show you that you can use anything. But you're just going to curl all 8 sides of that, and then you can use your skewer and just pinch it. That's it. If you're using one of your Cricut tools, you can probably pinch that in there as well, and it'll work just fine. But like I said, my method is preferred as a skewer. But that's all I've done to this. And that piece is ready. And then you're just going to do the same thing to all 10 hearts. And there are 2 different shapes, so you can keep them separate if you want. I put mine together with the deep one first, and I'll show you the difference in them. And you're going to pinch these 2. But one heart is like this and one is like this, and you can see the 2 different shapes on those. And it doesn't take much to curl this heavy cardstock. You can use paper on these, guys. You could probably use crepe paper too if you want. You just wouldn't curl as hard and you wouldn't stretch your crepe paper. And then I didn't show it in the photo because I was sharing those photos, and I want to always, when it's a Patreon only file, keep little tidbits for just my patrons. But I used some gross grain ribbon and about 8 or 9 inch length, and I curved my cut on those rather than cutting it straight across at a point, just because it was going on flowers. But you can cut your ribbon any way you want to. Yeah, that paper pack, Jamie, is awesome. It's even got a blue one in there too. I mean, for showers, for baby showers, for weddings, for bridal showers. That's why I got 5 packs of all the same, because I knew that I could use this for years to come for all my nieces, nephews, and everything. Valentine's Day, birthdays, it goes for everything. So once you have that, and I like to separate my deep hearts from the short ones. There's 5 of each. So where did I miss one at? There it is. And I'm just going to take my hot glue gun, and I'm going to pick up one of the deep hearts here and just put a little tab of glue on it and go in between and just place it. I usually don't get glue on me, but guys, be careful, don't burn yourself. You don't need a whole lot of glue, just a little bit will hold it. Do the second one. Place that one in. I told you this one is super, super fast. It took all of just a few seconds for the Cricut to cut it. I have the glue sticking to my fingernails. And then you can take that 5th one and you can hold it for the center of one of your flowers. I put it here on the top to give it more prominence, and on these I stuck it in as a 5th leaf on that layer, just staggering it is all I did. And then you're going to put the other set in. There is a hole cut in the center of that base piece. You don't have to have that. I just left that there as a guide. And if you were using the stem pieces, which I got in the wedding section at Hobby Lobby, and these are just individual pieces, it was easier just to put them in that way. And I'm using high temp glue, guys. You don't need high temp. Low temp will work just as fine. It will set a little quicker. But all I'm doing is going around and layering these. And then I take one of the stems out and I just put a little bit of glue around the base of it and put it right through that hole and let it set. Put just a drop back here. You don't need a whole lot. And then you can leave this wire on or you can clip it off. You can use your rhinestones, whatever it is that you have. You can use those in place of it. And I'm just going to put a little bit more glue back there for my ribbon. And plop that down. Put some more right there. Flip it over and it's done. Except for cleaning up any glue hairs you may have, it's finished. How quick and easy was that? I mean, from cutting to curling to putting it together and putting your ribbon on, it takes literally 5 minutes or less. Elaine, it does not, but I'm going to tell you right now, guys, this feels like, and I get 1 flower to each sheet, and then there's still extra, guys. To me, it feels like 100, maybe 110 pound. It does not feel like 80. Cricut is 80 and it will flop when you do this. And this is not flopping. So I really liked it for this because these are going, like I said, on top of packages. That way if somebody throws their package up on the table with it and stuff like that, it's going to take a little bit more to damage that than it would if I made it out of just 65 pound paper. Yeah, you could do it for corsage. You can make them small. You can make them big. It's totally up to you. This one measures, at the size I have it, about 3.5 inches to 4 inches on each one. So, and the hearts are set at about 2 inches wide, 2 inches high on each one. The short one is 1.75 high. So if you take those down to 1 inch, you'll probably cut it in half down to about a 2-inch rose. It does not have a glossy finish. It's matte. See if it'll focus in on that. It might have a little bit of shine to it on this red, but the other one I don't really see it. But you're right, Louise, the red looks like it might have a little bit of a shine. I wouldn't use this for stamping unless I use, or for gel pen for writing on, but for stamping it's smooth so you can stamp on it. Yeah, I made all 3 of these last night in laying out the file, cutting it, and putting them together in 20 minutes. I made 3, and that was the first one this was the first one that I made. So I just wanted to see if it would work. But yeah, Louise, I think it might have, it's not prominent. It's not a prominent sheen. It's more prominent on this dark red patterned, this damask type, but it's not showing on the others. But you could also use some glitter sprays, guys. Those, what are they called, Jamie? I forgot. I just bought some too, and I don't remember what they're called. But you could spray those with those glimmer sprays. Really, really, really pretty. Did anybody have any project issues or design issues? Also, guys, if you were on the $10 tier and up, I added some SVGs. But if you're watching this video today, you can ask me in the group and I will send you the file. As a matter of fact, I think I will just move that file if you guys want it. These two files, I can't give you the third one because I gave them 3 files this month. I have these 2 SVGs available if you guys need them for Valentine's. So if you want those, let me switch over and show that to you. If you guys want either one of these, just let me know. I'll put those, I think I'll add those to the design tab because I don't want to make them for public use, but I will put them on the design tab as well as the monthly SVG tab. So those 2 will be shared. Shimmer Mist, that's it, Jamie, thank you. Shimmer Mist. I think they're made by, let me just grab mine here. I just got these. Josephina Casillas. If you are a Patreon, you can have those, but if you're not, what do you have a different name on Patreon than your YouTube? Yeah, it would. Let me swap over and show you guys. Let's see. I got these at Tuesday morning on sale. I got all 5 colors for 10 bucks. But yeah, they're called Glimmer Mist. And they're in different colors so that you can mist. This, I think this one would be pretty on there. Or this pink, that pink would be good too. But they have like 15, 20 colors of these guys. And if you have a Tuesday morning near you, you can get those. How did you get the link to get into the video, Josephina? You have to be a Patreon. You're supposed to be a Patreon to be here for this video. I'm not sure how you got the link, but you shouldn't be in this video. But you're welcome. To get the file, you have to be a patron. You cannot get the file without being a patron. You can support me at Patreon and get it. It causes bubbles, Sheila. All my glitter's at the bottom, though. Oh, I got you, Sheila. So just roll it in your hand. thank you for that tip. I did not know that. I've used these maybe one time. I borrowed somebody's a while back, and then I saw these and I was like, I would really like those. So Sheila says, guys, to roll this. There's the link there, Josephine. Sheila says to roll, Jamie says to shake, but I'm finding that both of them are mixing it up. I still have a little in the bottom on this one, but yeah, both of them are working to mix it up. But I do have bubbles in this one and I don't the other. I'm going to try it anyway. Just see what it does. And I know they have to dry before those shimmers really show up. So I'm going to let that dry. And if you guys want to see a pic of it once it's dry, just ask and I'll show it. Yeah, I don't know how long these sat, but it mixed up pretty good. Well, that one I shook. But just rolling this one, it's mixing pretty good. So maybe these are not that old. I hope. Hope that they're not. Let's see. Let's try. That's blue. I could have swore I had a red one. There it is. Reddish orange. I'll mix this one for a minute. I'm going to spray this other one. See how it looks. It may show up quickly on that. Oh yeah, you don't want to get it on your ribbon. That one's dark. The yellow is the hardest to mix. This one's called Sun Kissed, the yellow one. So I'll have to, I know it probably won't stay on there. I'll have to change my ribbon out on that one. Make sure you spray them before you put your ribbon on. That's already dry. That red is really dark. Let's see, this is called Fire Engine. And you can buy them in individual bottles too. I'm pretty sure they probably have them on Blitsy or on scrapbook.com. It's going to be pretty though. It's got like a gold sheen on it now. I'll clean that off with a tissue off that pearl. But it turned out really pretty. I like that. I just have to replace my ribbon. Don't pay attention to my ribbon. I should have covered it first. Which all you have to do is, if you've already got your ribbon on, just put your piece of paper like that and spray it. I should have thought of that before I did it. Good morning, Gerald. Strap it. Yeah, we could do that, Louise. that would get it mixed up. Good morning, Kathy. Rise and shine, ladies. You guys missed it. I told you this was a fast project. We already put it together. I mean, it's bam, bam, done. So we're just shooting the breeze and talking about glitter mist now. Thank you, Sue. Those are correct. Those are the links there. And if they don't have them, guys, check Amazon. Amazon will have them, pretty sure. But these are Glitter Angels Glimmer Mist. That pink one that I sprayed was Spring Violet. So I guess it's really a light purple. And the red one was Fire Engine. And it's dark, but it's pretty. Yeah, you're right, Sheila. It mixed really good. I did shake the yellow and I still have air bubbles in it, but I guess the air bubbles will cause that big splatters, I guess. Like I said, I'm new to working with these. I used one years ago, a couple years ago, that I had gotten from somewhere. I borrowed it. I don't remember. And I used it on cards for a card panel. Okay, guys, does anybody have any project questions? Anything that's been giving you trouble? I know somebody in the group, I don't know. Trying to remember. Let me go over and look so I don't mess up the name. Somebody had a chipboard question. Terry McMahon Curtis. I don't know if she's watching. So, let's see. She was doing a chipboard on, and this is the flower file. Let me just go to a new, or I don't even need to do that. Let me go to images. If you guys are doing chipboard projects, I don't know which mailbox that was that she was doing. There it is. If you were wanting to do something like this out of the chipboard, you can, but you can't cut it like that and do it, because this is set up for cardstock, and these are all folds. These are all scores, all these little ticks on here. Oops, I forgot to transfer over, didn't I? Sorry. But she was trying to do this mailbox, and let me just show it to you again since I didn't have that on. This one right here. You can do something like this out of chipboard, but you can't do it from this state. You have to maneuver this file, and because of its odd shape, what I would suggest that you do if you're going to do this out of chipboard is that you go in and you get some squares, and you're going to have to put a hexagon or something up there and slice that. But you need to unlock your squares and put them in those sections and get them sized up. And you're going to have to allot for the thickness of your chipboard. And if you're using the heavy chipboard, I believe it's, and I could be wrong, so check me on it, but I believe after it acclimates, it comes out to 0.092 in thickness. And you need to allot for that, because when these pieces butt up against each other, they need room to move. I'm speaking from experience on designing that box, those couple of boxes I did, because they won't fit if they're not correct. But you will have to lay this out if you want to do something like this in chipboard, like I am doing here. Making sure that they are the right measurements and that you have that 0.092 gap so that they can fold up against each other. And once you have those, there's another one here. You can forget about the tabs completely, because you won't be using those tabs. Those are for cardstock. but you'll just set up all of your squares and shapes. Now I'm not going to go into these and making these, but you'll have to make your shapes for these as well. This one's like a rounded half oval, and then this one here. So once you have all those laid out, then how would you put it together? You don't need to cut this whole thing from cardstock to do that. What I do is, just going to get a couple of shapes here. And the easiest I found to do this for my hinging method, but you can do it any way that you want to do it. I just weld my two squares together, select those two and slice it, trash that, trash that, trash that, and now I have a hinge. All I'm going to do at this point, and I would make sure that it was square. This one's not square, of course. They need to be the same on both sides. Then you're going to run a score line down the center. And that's what you're going to cut from cardstock. And those are going to be your hinges to hinge all these pieces together so they will bend. So that's how you do this to make something like that from the chipboard. Because it has to have some give. Chipboard is not going to fold like cardstock does. And so this is how you create those hinges. Let me just make that a different color so you can tell that that's the hinge. Of course, like I said, mine's cattywampus there, but you'll want to make sure that it's squared up and it's dimensional. But you're going to put one of those, and you'll probably have to make some of them really skinny on something like this by unlocking it and bringing it in. I would probably make them all skinny. But that's how you're going to hinge these and bring them together, by using cardstock. Then of course you're going to have to decorate the outside. So you can cut panels to glue on there and things like that to hide all of your... You can even make this a little bit longer and wrap it around the edge and then put your panels on the outside. You can put panels on the inside too, so it's finished up. If you're looking to do something like that, I know that the videos are long, but the one that I did on the keepsake box, they are public. They are on YouTube. It will show you how I hinged that box together using cardstock and then covered it all. And that's really the way that you want to do it, because when you do your wrap for this to go on, I can basically show you with one of these. When you do your decorative piece, your panels, you're not just going to cut a square. You're going to cut it so that you can wrap and hinge these over. And it's basically shaped like... Unlock. You're going to slice off this corner, these four corners, evenly. And that way this end will flip over this end and it will create like a frame on the inside. If you look at the back of some canvases, or like when you meet your paper and you fold that triangular fold, like upholstery, basically. But once these corners are sliced off, that gives this shape here. And that folds over each end, and then the sides come in. And it creates a frame. And then you can put your panel over that. So you can actually cut your decorative panel for the outside in one color and fold it over that way, put it on, put your hinge in there, and then put your covering panel on the inside. You have that pack of cardstock. But yeah, that's the way you're going to have to do those. And if you watch, you don't have to watch the whole video that I did on that box, but if you watch the hinging part and the covering part, you will see how I covered it to give you that look to where you can just pop panels on there. So anytime that you want to cut something like this from chipboard, just remember you can, but you have to lay it out totally different, because chipboard is not going to bend. And so you have to make it bend. And the only way to make it bend is by hinging it with cardstock. So you just have to cut all those little pieces and hinge it up. Did that make sense to you guys? And if you get stuck, you can always ask me. I can take a look at your file and help you. Unless you upload it. Okay, guys. Does anybody else have any other questions? I know that question was asked, so I wanted to cover that. Hi, Balkus. Yes, I do. On that, what I do, Sue, is I cut my chipboard pieces and then I wrap them whatever I want my base color to be. So if I wanted my base color to be pink on this, I would wrap them and wrap them to the outside so the outside was totally pink. And then I would use the same color as my hinge for the inside, and then I would cut panels to cover those hinges, like so, because your panels will then cover those on the inside, your cardstock panels. So you have, let me just change the color of a couple of these. If I wanted a blue base, here's my chipboard. I'm going to wrap it to the inside, and then here's my hinge. I'm going to make it the same color as my base color, and then I am going, after it's wrapped, I'm going to hinge it to the next piece, because both of these will be wrapped, and then you're going to hinge them together. And then to cover the hinge with maybe some decorative paper, I'm going to come in and put that decorative paper to cover where I put that hinge. And I can also put that on the back side so that I have that color peeping through and I have a two-tone color, because you won't see any of the chipboard at that point. You will just see the blue hinge color, which will be your wrap color. It might be, I don't know if I could pull it up. It would be, I have tons and tons and tons of projects. Here we go. Let's go to my profile. Right here. If you go to my profile, and here's the link. I don't know if it'll let me paste it, but I'm going to try. If you go to my profile, and the video links are in there, here's the hinges file. You can see that I wrapped this whole thing in this base color of the cream color, and then to cover my hinges, I used decorative paper over it. This is a pretty large file. It may take a moment to load. But this is in 3 files because I didn't want it to be large. But you see, I cut, these are the paper wraps. So my actual, like on this piece here, let me ungroup that. This piece right here is my paper wrap, and there's a cut line in there because this one had a hole in it. But this would be my chipboard. right here, this gray piece, we're going to pretend that that is my chipboard. If I can get it to move. Like I said, this is a very large file and I have a lot running. So my chipboard would be in here. It doesn't want to scroll for me. There we go. I would be setting, oh, come on, cooperate. I know it's a lot, Design Space. That's my chipboard piece, and I am going to wrap these ends in on it, and then these sides in on that, and then I will hinge the other side pieces to it with these hinges here, and these hinges here will go in these corners as it folds up, and then I put my decorative panels on it from there. But if you watch the videos, you can tell, here's the list of all the videos in here. You can see how you hinge these pieces together to make a box or to make that mailbox. You just have to break down the cardstock file into pieces because, like I said, you can't bend chip. It's not going to bend. Won't give. And we can go into more detail on it. I can set something up Monday, guys, maybe something small to show you how to lay out a chipboard file to make a simple box. If you guys want, you guys just let me know. Send your project ideas to me, whatever. We'll cover it. We'll get to it sooner or later. Have a great weekend, Elaine. We'll see you on Monday. Okay, guys, I hope that answered your questions. If anybody else has any Design Space questions or project issues, please don't hesitate to send those over to us in the group and we'll take care of it. We'll get you a video. We'll do whatever we need to do to help you understand and get your project going. Yeah, the mailbox number is that one is on the Love Struck cartridge, hashtag M43A89. Thanks, Jamie. Thank you guys for coming and watching. And if you need anything at all, please don't hesitate to reach out. We're here for you.